Hey Capricorn, wherever that sits in your chart, and welcome to this reading, a look at your year ahead, 2026. So here I'm going to see what guidance, what information, what messages want to come through for your greatest good, for your highest timeline. And the structure of this reading is going to be a real deep dive into your year ahead. I'm going to get at least one card for each month to understand the theme of that month, what's going to be going on. But in all of the readings that I've done so far, whether it's private or collective, there's been months that have had a bit more of a deep dive, more information's come through. And so I'm really just going to do that. I'm going to go with the flow, see what wants to come through, what information and what opportunities, what challenges are coming up in this year. If you get anything from this reading, please don't forget to like and to subscribe. All of the likes, all of the subscribes, all of the love is so appreciated. So thank you so much and thank you for being here. This video can be good for you to watch all the way through to understand what's coming up in 2026 and to understand the advice moving forward, what you need to be aware of. But it can also be good to save this video somewhere and you can return to it as the year progresses, either to look at what's coming up in the immediate future or to reflect on the months that have gone and how they fit in. I'm also going to put together maybe a brief summary because it's going to be a long video. It's going to be a real deep dive. And so I'm going to put a bit of a summary. You can get that in the link in the comments. And I'm going to add in some of the astrology as well so you can see how it's all working together and what to be aware of. So, starting, I'm being given 3 cards, and these 3 cards is something that you need to know progressing into this year, progressing into 2026, moving into this new year. So here we have the 5 of Swords, the 10 of Cups, and the 3 of Pentacles. And so this is a year where it's starting out by walking away from, this could be walking away from conflicts. This could be, there's been battles over the past year, maybe in 2025. There was some tests and being tested by other people around you. This can also be inner conflicts as well. And so this is you walking away thinking, I don't need to rise to that. What's the need in winning this argument, this fight? And it's you reclaiming your power by walking away from that and maybe even having some forgiveness and walking away with forgiveness. With the 10 of Cups as well, this is you moving towards emotional fulfillment. This is you walking towards the future that you want to see. So this is really promising as you're moving into this new year. This is a great time to set intentions. What does the year ahead look like? And not just the year ahead, what does it look like past that? And to really dream big too. We're moving out of a 9 year. We've just had a 9 year, the year of the snake and shedding. And we're now in a 10 year, which then breaks down to wands and new beginnings. And so this card is coming through really strong. This is you starting to build that. And with the 3 of Pentacles, it's about building it and not just being solely responsible for creating the things around you. The 3 of Pentacles is about working with others, and so it can be about connections and a shared project. And so this is you moving forward, creating the future that you've always wanted to see, or the future that you always wanted to create, and creating it with soul family or soul connections, helping you to build that. This can also be working with your guides more. If you're in contact with your guides, or even if you're not in contact with them yet. Okay, that's came flying out. Even if you're not in contact with them yet, this can be you getting in contact, receiving that guidance and moving forward to what fills your cup. Okay, and the Tower card came flying out here. So I'm getting that this is a real shake-up, and being in a 9-year, where we were previously, the 9-year and the releasing, the shedding, it was a real turbulent time, and a message coming through loud and clear from your guides to trust that this is a necessary clearing. This was you releasing the things from the past that really don't serve you, that if anything were holding you back, it's the shaky foundations that you can't really build a house on. And so a message loud and clear coming through to trust that this is needed for you to start again, for you to start this new beginning and to move towards that 10 of cups. To move towards that 10 of cups, you have to clear out the old ways of thinking, the old things that aren't serving you, the old ways of doing things that weren't for your greatest good. And so this is a real letting go of people and things from the past that don't need to come with you as you move forward to your highest timeline and to your purpose. Okay. I'm getting a message about the solar plexus, and so your confidence or power moving into this new year. And here we have the Page of Wands, and the solar plexus is that fire. It's that fire within. And so this really is a new beginning. This is you stepping into what lights you up, finding that authenticity. And this is you moving into an unapologetic initiation of where you want to go, letting your creative fire really guide that path forward. And this is a time for exploring, tapping into new areas and doing so fearlessly, really stepping out of your comfort zone and watching the growth happen when you do that. This is a great message about that fire within, that power within really growing. You're giving your soul a permission slip to move forward and say yes to the unknown and to show up as you are. And that's how you're beginning the year. And that's what you're going to see throughout this year. Okay, so getting a bit more information about what you're leaving behind. And so here we have the 2 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. And so 2 real powerful cards of what you're leaving behind. This is where you might have been stuck in overthinking, decision paralysis, and fears, stress, worries, and limiting beliefs. This might have caused sleepless nights. It's a real time of stress. And like I said, we were in a 9-year and you're now leaving that behind. The 9-year was there to release those things, to let go of them. But I can see here, this is it's been a really stressful time that you've been through. You've been through a lot of mental torment and negative thought patterns, thought loop, and fears. And so with leaving this behind, this is you moving out of indecision. It's you removing not just that blindfold, but the ties of the past, the things that kept you stuck in that overthinking. And you're removing the blindfold and seeing the path clearly. In fact, you don't even need your eyes. You're removing the blindfold, but you're trusting your inner guidance as you move forward. You're following your heart, you're following what's lighting you up, and trusting that in moving forward. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm being guided to put out some cards, and they're not going to be in order. It's going to be wherever I'm guided to put the cards, and it's going to be one for each month. I'll just move these here. Okay. This one. Ooh. Okay, so that's a card for each month laid out, ready to go. And I'm being given this card. This is something close to your heart, and it's also going to be the theme for the year. Something, is it going? No. Okay, this is something close to your heart. Yeah, and it is going in the middle, so it's the theme of the year. So this is going to be a repeating thing that you're going to keep coming back to throughout the year. And so here we have that 10 again. We have that 10 of swords, and so this, you can see and sort of feel the pain that has happened through the past. But this is a necessary ending, a necessary clearing out. And in the distance, the sun is rising. And so the joy is coming. And the 10 is actually a really good card. It's of new beginnings, new starts, and so relevant in this one year and the year of the fire horse. This is rising from the ashes and having released that heaviness, having released all of the swords that we saw in the other cards. You see that those are behind you, those are in the past, and this is a time to rise, to move towards that light, to move towards your joy. And so this whole year, it's the closing of a chapter, it's the closing of a karmic cycle, and the starting of a new you, a reborn you, having released the past. And before we go into each month, I'm being given a tool in your pocket for moving forward with, and look at that, it's the sun. I literally said about the sun on the horizon of this card, and this is a tool in your pocket. Not just spirit saying this is where you're moving forward to. If you're in a time where it feels like this isn't possible, that your joy isn't possible, know that it is. Spirit is giving the message that this joy is on its way. To carry on with that childlike wonder and that curiosity and move forward following your joy, and you will find it. And this is another message about following your heart, following your joy. Always tap into that and keep doing that throughout the year. Okay, so normally when I've done other readings, it's been just one card in the middle, but you've got two. You've got the 10 of swords and the sun as well. Okay, so we're starting with January. And so we're going to see what card is here for January. And so here we have the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles. And so that Ace of Pentacles, starting the 1 year with a 1 on the 1 month. And so yeah, you're starting moving forward with the seeds that you want to plant. Like I said, this is an important time to set the intentions for this new beginning. This is you really picturing and feeling what the future looks like, dreaming big, and this really is an activation chamber. This is you moving onto a completely new timeline, but you need to inform the universe what you're moving to as you walk through the door. So it's good to picture your intentions, write them down, give them energy, and really feel them. When you write them down, put them in the present tense as if they've already happened, and you'll be amazed at how that informs all of the energy around you, and you start walking step by step to your goals. I'm being given a challenge for January, and so here I'm going to have a look what the challenge is. Okay, here is the Ten of Swords again. Amazing that it's come out straight away at the start of the year, coming out again to show the importance of this closing, of this ending. And so the Spirit really guiding you that this is a closing of the door. If there's anyone trying to get back in, or any negative behaviors, anything from the past that you've been energetically releasing, this is a time that the universe might test you. Are you really shutting that door? Are you picking up your power, or are you going back to that limited mindset? Are you looking back? You can't move forward with one foot in the old door. And so this really is a time for you to move to that one from that 10, moving out of that and through that door, and closing the door behind you as you do it. I've got something for you that's really important for you to listen to on this month. And so here we have the 8 of Pentacles. And so this could be one of your hobbies, it could be your work life. This could be new hobbies as well, or up leveling, something that you're already working on. This could be you having a passion that maybe has taken sort of a sideline over the last year or longer. And so this is you listening to where your passions are. Where do you want to grow this year? And this could be about looking for opportunities like courses or the next step to up level that skill and really step into or work towards the mastery of something. So this is you either starting a new hobby or looking at the next steps to up level a current hobby, or returning back to a hobby that was from the past that has been neglected. So look out for any opportunities to do that, is the advice. So moving on to February, I'm being guided to February, and so the card here is the Knight of Swords. And so here with the Knight of Swords, this is you moving forward and things progressing quickly. So there'll be a lot happening in February. There'll be quick momentum. There'll be a big shift in something. And I'm being given a card here. And I'm getting something to be aware of, a weight on your shoulder, a potential challenge. And so here we have the 3 of Cups. With the 3 of Cups being a challenge, this could be around connections, and so you're being asked to tap into are these connections serving my highest good? Are they matching my vibration? Are these the right people to surround myself with? Especially with the Knight of Swords, you're being guided not to rush into any connections, to really check which relationships are serving you and which aren't going to be right for you, which ones are soul family, and which ones are going to pull you down or hold you back. And this could be relationships from the past coming back again. This could be people from the past returning, and maybe you've had some distance from them and you're starting to find your soul tribe. You're starting to move to people that are meant to walk the path with you. And so this is something to be aware of when it comes to friendships, connections during this month. There's going to be a challenge here, and you're asked not to rush into things, not to comment too hastily, and to slow down when needed and tap into your intuition to feel into which are the right connections for you. And with this connection, I'm being given a weight on your shoulder. So this could be someone in your life asking you to carry too much. And that's the importance of your soul tribe and the connections and relationships that are meant for you. They're in balance, they're in harmony. It's not someone asking you to take on too much responsibility, for you to do too much for them, to give too much and not receive. And so this message is all about checking in. Are your relationships in balance? Okay. And some advice on that as well. Here, the Page of Swords reversed. With it reversed, this is your mind racing, and this is overload. This is going back to the swords energy that we saw before. This is the thought loops, the worries, the concern, the limiting beliefs. And so you're really being asked to sit in stillness, to cut through the noise. The advice here is to reconnect with your inner compass, and you're being asked to pause, retreat. If you find yourself, you start to overthink things, you're being asked to come back, tap into that inner guidance again, and be aware of the mind and its tricks and any restless mental energy. And again, really big message of being aware of any impulsive communication this month. It's better to take some time out than to just say something and then regret it later. And I'm being given a message about trusting the past. And so this could be, again, something that's still being released from you. And so this could be you thinking back to the past and the good times and thinking, have I done the right thing? What have I done? And doubting. And so I'm being given the message that trust your progression, trust you're moving forward, trust that you're going to find your soul family and those right connections. And here I'm being given the Hanged Man. And so the Hanged Man, all about, like I was saying, that pause, that retreat, and seeing things from a different perspective. Sitting in that stillness and releasing any control, really surrendering and trusting. And the message is coming through so loud and clear right now that you are moving towards those people that honor you, and you're moving forward to your soul connections. And so if there are people who've fallen away, know that it was right, and let go and trust that you're moving forward, not just to these soul connections, but to this sun that we saw, to your joy. Okay. And so I'm being guided to move on to March now. And so here for March, we have the Lovers. And it's funny that we're talking about relationships and aligned relationships, and then on the very next month, this is you really learning the lesson in February. This is you cutting away the cords, cutting the cords, cutting and releasing the past people that don't serve you, and from that you're rewarded with the Lovers. And this is you not just having aligned and those soul connections with other people, but also you're in alignment with yourself. You're no longer doing things out of fear, obligation, or an outdated identity. You're moving forward in full alignment, in flow with the universe, and having those synchronicities, meeting those people that you're meant to meet, and really making those connections that are helping you grow, they're lifting you up. This is a big month for those connections. When we were talking about it in February, I was looking forward to something like that coming up later in the year, because I was sure that it would. I didn't know it would be bam, there you go, March. And so it really shows that you cleared any karmic cycles, you've learnt the lesson, and now you're getting the reward the month after. And only one card for March. I'm being guided to move on to April. So yeah, that's all the information that you need to know. The next month is all about your core values, soul connection, and moving forward authentically and in balance, in harmony. So April, the card here for April is the Ace of Wands. And so again, we were given the message earlier with the page, but here with the Ace of Wands, this is you moving forward and lighting the way. It's a real ignition. This is you finding those soul connections, finding that alignment, and then this is the next stage of that progress. This is you lighting the match to, this is your inner light being lit, and this is the spark that's going to drive you forward, and this inspiration is going to carry forward. This could be something that you're creating, something that you're building, but this is where you find that drive. You're alive and unapologetically moving forward with the right choices, the choices that are for you. And I'm being given this card, the moving forward, and I'm being given, it could be, and this is really specific, so it might not be for everyone, but I'm getting channeling. Now, this can be you're channeling energy into a creative project, so you're clearing the mind and really getting into that creative flow and channeling the divine through you and creating something really amazing. It can also be that you're increasing your connection with the divine, with your spirit guides, and following that guidance forward. And this could be like an activation. And this is really you following your heart and letting your heart guide you. And so this is you sort of up leveling and releasing those swords that we saw earlier, releasing that overthinking and having that inner compass to guide you forward. Okay, so we're moving on to May already. So just one card for the previous month as well. So here for May, the card is the Chariot. So here we go. Moving forward and moving forward to your victory with that alignment. Again, another big message about moving in alignment, in harmony, with that balance. And a great message about victory. The Chariot's moving forward towards victory, and there's real movement and momentum. And this is also a big card with it being linked to the moon and Cancer. This is a big card about intuition and spiritual guidance. And so it really feels like this, in these last 3 months, after like the end of the first quarter and stepping into the second quarter, this is like a spiritual upgrade. This is you up leveling and getting closer to your higher self and really following your soul's path. This could be unlocking spiritual gifts. This could be really having that deep connection and communication with your spirit guides and really channeling stuff through. This is unstoppable momentum. You've lit the match, you've lit the fire, and you're spreading that fire forward and lighting the way, charging ahead. And this is the wheel turning, moving forward towards your future, moving forward towards your joy. Okay, this is something that you can see on the horizon. Wow. And it's the Ace of Cups. And so this is you seeing what the new emotions that you want to feel. You're seeing it. And this card is all about intuition as well. And so again, this is you having that unshakable inner knowing of where you're going. You can envision it. There's no more listening to fears. There's no more listening to the noise. This is you fully in your comfort zone. And when something happens now, you're not resorting to listening to others, listening to the wrong people, or listening to anything outwardly. You're checking in within yourself and moving forward with that determination, with that momentum to your full cup, to your manifestation, to your dreams, to that emotional fulfillment that we saw. Okay, now I'm being guided to June, and so we're going to see what June has in store. Wow. And so we have the High Priestess. And so this is just, it's been progressing and progressing, and you can see it too, that this is really you unlocking spiritual gifts. This is you working with unseen forces, and this could be on a shamanic level. This could be you really connecting with your guides, working with other people to connect with their guides, or really tapping into the unseen realms, maybe through shamanic journeys. This is you receiving downloads and feeling that connection to the divine. This again is deep, deep intuition, and we've got the moon's energy again. The High Priestess here showing that you are unshaken from your path. This is you tapping into the waters of your soul and understanding everything on a deep, deep, deep level. And I'm being pulled back to January and the Eight of Pentacles. And so this is a real progress in intentions that you set in what potentially a hobby, But this is you leveling up and maybe using your channeling, using your intuition, using that deep wisdom to reach a new level on that. And this is the month where you're going to do it. You're fully receiving the flow. You're fully in flow and receiving that full cup. Moving towards the end of the year. Moving towards the end of the year, listen to your intuition, listen to your heart. And listen to, okay, so here we have the 7 of Swords. And so this is going to be a good test of listening to your intuition here. Something might come up where it's not right for you, and this is you being tested. This is you cutting through the noise of any false stories and listening to what's truly yours. And with the High Priestess, this is you not being pulled off your path. This is you not betraying yourself anymore. And this might also be you rationalizing away your intuition. And so just be aware of that. The more that you trust and step into your power, the more that you're going to notice, the more that you're going to see, the more signs, the more synchronicities, the more mystical experiences that you're going to experience. And so this might be a bit of doubt creeping in. And so just be aware of it. And I'm being given something that's behind you. So this might be something that you've reached a half point of the year, and there's something that you've needed to release again as you move to what feels like another new chapter. But as you progress, we have the Queen of Cups. And so here the Queen of Cups, again, a big message of intuition, tapping into your emotional mastery and being able to handle any challenges that come up during this month. You're connected to your inner stillness even when things are shifting around you. And tapping into your heart. Following your joy. Keep getting pulled back to that sun. It's keep coming back throughout the year. I want you to remember this card. I want you to really feel it. This should be something to return to whenever there's a challenge. You're tapping into your heart. You're finding your joy, and it's there. You're following the path to it. Okay, so being guided to July, and here for July we have Justice. And so this, like I said, this feels like a chapter. This feels like, again, you shutting the door on something and moving forward with this new up-leveled version of you. This is the scales tipping in your favor again, and this is you clearing out the past and things that weren't meant for you, and moving forward aligned and following your truth. This is a slate being wiped clean, and you stepping forward on this new beginning halfway through the year. And again, I'm being given the message, listening to the sun, listening to your joy. Okay. So I've got here a tool for this month. I'm being given a card that's something to remember that you've got at your disposal this month. And so here, the 8 of Swords. And so this can be limiting beliefs. this can be those negative thought patterns returning, and that's normal when it seems that it keeps happening whenever you're closing the door on something. So this is a reminder not to put any mental cages up, to really free yourself of those things that you need to release, free yourself of any limiting beliefs. You're really being asked to really dream big and to not listen to or to let go of any doubts that come up. This is you moving forward into your freedom. This is you've got your intuition, you've witnessed and experienced so much. You've got spiritual guidance and you've got that emotional balance and feeling things deeply. And so let that guide you forward. Just be aware of anywhere where you're still putting limits on yourself. You need to close the door to let go of any limits and to move forward, up leveled. And so here we've got August. And so for August, this card, we have Temperance. And so Temperance is you moving forward on the path with those cups, alchemizing and growing on the journey. And if you look here on this card, is the path leading to, bam, that sun. And so this is you growing. This is you using those things from the past, no matter how painful they were. You're in a position now where you're using the pain of the past to really grow and build, and you're seeing that growth already. This is one foot on the earth, one in the water. And so this is you really tapping into the unseen and the seen realms and having that support from both as you move forward towards your joy. Yeah. This is again another message about you finding that inner balance or bringing that forward. And this really is you channeling any chaos into calm. I've got something on this month that's close to your heart, really close to your heart. And so here we have the Seven of Cups reversed. And so another test from the universe. So in August, there's going to be lots coming up. There's going to be lots of options. And this is an important path that you're choosing here. This is you being filled with distractions and which way to go. But this is also a time of any illusions collapsing. This is your deep soul knowing, your love, your heart really guiding you through. And this is a massive theme for this year. This is your heart guiding you through and moving through any illusions. There's going to be a lot of choices, a lot of propositions put to you this month. And this is you choosing your heart now. This is you choosing your what is right for you, rather than going into ego, rather than going into forced thoughts, rather than going into trying to control the outcome. This is you moving forward to what's right for you and claiming it through all the noise and the confusion. So here I'm being guided to September, and September we have the King of Pentacles. And so this is you in September really feeling that stability, really feeling that grounding, that security, and seeing the abundance around you. Whatever it is that you've been creating and building and moving towards, this is you starting to see the structure of that. This is you experiencing, this could be a shift in your finances, or seeing those finances coming in, or seeing that this really is taking shape. This really is having structure. And this is you feeling secure in that. This is you feeling the earth underneath you and feeling supported by it. And so I'm being given a card about the past. And so here we have the Two of Cups. And so here there's a past relationship which might have been holding you back, or might have made you feel not secure. But this is you moving forward and feeling secure in your relationships now. This is you finding your soul tribe. This could be a romantic partner, but this is you feeling that security in relationships where in the past you might not have felt that, or like we looked at earlier in the year, it might not have been a balanced relationship. This is you moving into that balance and feeling that safety and security with others. Okay, and I'm being shown the solar plexus, and specifically about October. And so here with October, the card is the Four of Pentacles. And so with this card, it's completely natural when things start going right for us, when we start to see the abundance, when we start to see the soul-aligned relationships, when we start to see all of these amazing things coming into our life, we can be a bit worried about losing them. We can start clinging on, holding on, and start to slowly want to try and control the outcome from a place of fear, fear of losing what we've gained, what we've lost. With the Four of Pentacles here, you're being asked to trust and really let go of any control. As you've been moving through the year, you've really tapped into that trust, that intuition, and moving with the flow and going with the universe. And so this is a month to just be aware of where you might be holding on too tight. You might be worried of losing what you've accumulated. And it's a good practice to just check in and to let go when needed. And getting a bit more information around this as well. And so here is the Ace of Swords. And so with the Four of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, this is you moving forward with your truth, moving forward with clarity. So with the Ace of Swords, this is you seeing through any illusions, noticing any thoughts where it's like, I can see the fear creeping in. I can see the fear of loss moving through. And this really is you cutting through the illusion. This is you not being held prisoner by those thoughts, those worries about scarcity or loss. And this is you cutting the cords of any stories of lack or losing what is yours. And again, pulled to the card in the middle, this card is big, big, big for this year. Pulled to this, it's about listening to your joy again and trusting that. If you're listening to the joy, listening to what lights you up, listening to your heart, then you can't be guided wrong. That really is the message for your year ahead. And I'm being given a card here. It's to go with the other card in November. So here in November, we have the Devil and we have the Eight of Wands. Okay, so November is a loud month. This is temptation coming flying in. This could be attachments, it could be addictions, it could be habits, but there's temptations and lots happening around you. So this is a real test this month. You've come so far. This is you seeing whether you can find that balance within the storm. Things aren't always going to go to plan. They're not always going to look like the rest of the year. And so this is you. You might feel like you're spinning at one point, but this is an opportunity for you to really see if you can tap into that power. This is something unpredictable happening where there's going to be a big temptation. And whether that's going back to things from the past that you've released, or something that's out of character, or succumbing to some toxic cycles, this is something to be aware of. And there's lots. I'm being shown that 8 of Wands, so this is going to be a big surprise when it comes in. And here within that, we have the Death card. And so with death as well, this is you being tested. And this is you within this test going through a massive transformation. In the transformation, these tests are here to really see and to test whether we've really up-leveled. And once you pass the finish line, it's like you can really release those old habits, those old ways of being, and be born again. This is you really releasing through the storm. And this is a necessary storm, a necessary test, a necessary clear out, so that once you rise through it untouched, imagine how strong, and imagine how much you feel the growth from getting through it. And there's something for you to listen to on this month to help you get through it. And here we have the World. And so the World here is showing that closing of the chapter, that ending the karmic cycle. This is those old behaviors, the old you. This is a big year for your up leveling. You've gone through a change, a shift, ended some chapters, real big clear out, moving forward in the year, having another up leveling. And then as we get towards the end of the year again, a massive test, a massive transformation, inner transformation, walking up that spiral, walking through that portal. This is the new me, and releasing the past. I'm being given the message about the World and about walking through this doorway to trust. This is you moving forward. It's an invitation to honor your evolution as you're moving through. This is you moving into wholeness and moving towards things that you have earned. Okay, and so the last month, December, here the card is an amazing card, the 4 of Wands. And so here on December is a time for celebration. It's a time for you feeling that security and you feeling at home. This is a real celebration of how far you've come. And over the year, this is a real transformation, a transformation of you from, well, a transformation outside as well, with your, especially around relationships. But this is a transformation from within as well. This is you celebrating how far you've come. This could also, for some people, be an engagement, a wedding, something along those lines. And so the real feel of December and ending the year is that this is a big time for celebrating, a big time for celebrating. This is your frequency aligning with what you've been praying for, the intentions that you set at the start of the year. And this is you moving into that. This is worth celebrating. And so a beautiful card to end the year on. And I'm being given the message from your guides to really trust this path, trust that you're moving forward to this Four of Wands, to this celebration. Trust that this is happening if you follow your heart. And listen, I'm being given a card to listen to on this month. And we have the King of Swords. And so this is you really feeling the clarity, the truth, the security underneath you. This is you having those foundations so strong that now this is an unshakable you. This is you standing in your joy. This is you experiencing it and not being able to be shaken by others and by those things around you. And linked to this foundation and sitting in your truth is the Two of Pentacles. And so this is you in harmony, in balance, dancing through life with joy. And again, this is about, so when I was explaining about being unshaken, it can feel like a very static card. Okay, I'm not moving, but this is a reminder that no, being in harmony, being in balance means that you can dance through life, going with the flow, but not being shaken. And so dancing through life with your joy, with your balance, in harmony. And yeah, I'm being shown the Sun card again, another message. This is you experiencing that joy. And I'm being given, have faith. And so if there's a time that you doubted that this was going to happen, this is the time that you're being given the message loud and clear that have faith that this is coming. Okay, so that's all of the reading from the tarot cards, but I'm being guided to get a card from the Shaman's Dream. And so we'll just see what wants to come through. So here, and this card's important for January, and it's the Netcaster. Well, January and the whole year, but I've been guided that in particular this is something for January, and let this carry on through the whole year. So Netcaster, preparations come to fruition. It's a 42, number 42, which is a 6. And so it's about coming back into harmony. So that's going to be a theme from the start of the year and moving forward. Preparations come to fruition. A surprise, a result beyond expectations. And what did we say about the Sun? So the Netcaster arrives to tell you to stop praying for fish. They have arrived. And it's time that you cast your net, lest they swim away. Everything that you long for is within reach. But it has been so long since your prayers were answered that you have forgotten how to receive what is being offered to you. Put down the prayer beads and open your arms and your heart to rewards beyond measure. Cast your net. And I was guided to go like that, and so spot on. Take the next step that you have been planning for so long. Remember that the fish wait for no one, so time is of the essence. Heaven and earth are in perfect alignment for your victory. The stars are positioned for success. The only one who can spoil the perfection of this moment is you. If you ask, do I really deserve this? You will sabotage the magic and shatter the crystalline flawlessness of the now. The netcaster can also arrive to bring you bad news, to tell you that you have been snared in someone's trap and you must wriggle free. Right now, it feels comfortable enough, even as the net begins to tighten around you. Do not wait until it is suffocating you before realizing you must escape and run for your life. It is still early enough to exit gracefully. Bide your time until all the conditions are right. Go to your place of stillness, of deep quiet, and watch for the signs that a new opportunity has arrived. Right now, you are patient because you feel that things will go your way. Learn to be patient with the people and situations that are more challenging. And so a beautiful sum up of the year that we saw, and a really beautiful reading. You can really see the progress as we're moving through the year. This is up leveling followed by up leveling, and so much coming through for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Sending so much love.